tool on both sides, I suppose.
Burning some bridges there. Well, let's take a look at this Fnatic defense coming out. To the surprise of no one, I feel confident calling this before they even get to assemble their heroes and leave spawn. IDDQD, the player, not the team, will be playing McCree. Probably, I mean, at least on statistically for a while, and this was pre-patch, the best McCree in the world. He was playing it pre-patch, so no doubt about it, if McCree is available and halfway decent in the meta, then it's going to be IDDQD on that McCree. Stoop is going to be playing the Reinhardt. Cool, Matt 69 on the Winston. Custa will be playing the Zenyatta. Buds on the Reaper and Bonathil on Lucio, and Buds has been a standout player for me on this roster lately. I know what the other guys have been up to and what they're capable of. Buds has stunned me on several different heroes lately. He's been playing great.
Buds mechanically is just a great player, period. He's been that, not just in Overwatch, but in other games that he's played as well. In fact, a little bit of trivia for you guys. Buds used to be a teammate of Tailspin back in Numbani and played a bunch of games with Tailspin and all the rest. So he goes in that group here, and now is linked up once more with Cool Matt. Cool Matt, of course, sort of in that same group. But either way, taking a look here at the offense coming in from the side WeUnited. Zombs is going to be on Zarya, Too Easy on the McCree, Slasher on Zenyatta, Reels on Lucio, Forsaken on the D.Va and Jabra and Genji. So the dream of Ana being played by Slasher, not going to happen here. Despite the Ana buff, I have not really been seeing any of her here today.
Shadowburn with his offensive rollout gets to the back line on his Genji. He does this every time on King's Row.
It's a really good play coming out from Shadowburn. Forsaken right now just moving in, pushing defense back. No one's even died yet, but Cool Matt will be the first to fall. 2 kills coming out here from WeUnited. They push Fnatic back, and Too Easy gang all the cleanup in the world on this McCree.
That's it.
I mean, Buds is still around here. All he's doing is buying a little bit of time, not much more than that. It's not the worst. We'll give them a few seconds to at least set up in Streets phase as defense.
Yeah, that rollout from Shadowburn is yet to be punished. Now, they tried to do it. They tried to turn around with Cool Matt, get the Winston up there. If you didn't see the rollout, he climbs this first building here, jumps in the air, dashes across, and takes his high ground immediately away. And then it gets them positioning, like focusing on him up top, and then he dashes away to wherever he wants. The rest of the team comes in and cleans up. They've been doing that rollout on this map since they've been WeUnited.
Alrighty, so defense right now resetting up, and yeah, we'll see what WeUnited does here, but they've been looking great so far. They will have an ult advantage here in just a moment. IDD could be really the only one in the defense to have an ult anytime soon with Soundbear, or with Deadeye. Too Easy gonna counter with the Deadeye of his own here, starting things out. Looking for those skulls. Not gonna get a chance to fire it off, but still creates a lot of space. That lets the offense just get here to this next bend. Relatively uncontested. The defense still getting pushed back. Here's the big question. Will Stoop be able to get Big Earth Shadow here? And he does! He knocks down 3! He gets exactly what he was looking for. And Fnatic going to retake control of this game. It's going to be a successful hold.
Yeah, Bud started it off by getting in the back line and taking down one of the supports. Then he isolated... he was able to isolate Forsaken there, who tried to deal with him and is able to take him out. So it was essentially a 5v3 immediately on the cart because of some plays by Buds to get around the back end. And yeah, as you mentioned, phenomenal Earth Shatter there, cleans up the entire thing.
Okay, so the defense here, that's new life for them. They were low on ults, but did give everyone else a chance to build up their ults. Buds has Death Blossom at the ready. They have Transcendence, so much more tools here for Fnatic to actually defend this next fight. Deadeye came out from Too Easy, didn't get a whole lot. Cool Matt actually on the flanking Winston as Costa able to take out Too Easy. Buds moving forward. 2 quick kills from Fnatic. And Forsaken just nopes right out of there. Still ends up dying from the rush in of Buds and Cool Matt. And Fnatic looking much more poised and confident here in the second phase of King's Row.
Yeah, after a bit of a rough start, especially the first point defense and then the first point bend being taken by a non-fired ult, they look much more comfortable now. I mean, I think this second point is pretty, it's a little bit better for the defense here, not have to worry about the flanks as much. A strange flank coming out from Cool Matt. He is so far behind on his Winston. What is this?
Yeah, Cool Matt, I mean, it's a little bit of an interesting play from Winston. Usually Winston is with the team and then leaps in, but he's just playing flank Winston. Gets jumped on by Shadowburn, goes for the Primal Rage, just gonna bounce him around for a little bit here. Meanwhile, on the card, Soundbearer comes out. So we have the Winston-Genji duel on one hand, the rest of the team fight here on the cart. A little bit weird way to start out. Both teams still have 5 players. Cool Matt did win that duel against Shadowburn. Too Easy, though, starting to open things up. Zombs with the follow-through. And it was weird. It was all over the place, but WeUnited will be cracking the Streets phase, and they'll be starting here on last.
Super late attempt at a Death Blossom from Buds, too. Got nothing down there, so they are going to grab this point moving forward on offense. No ults up for either side right now, though. It is going to be the defense which gets most of their ults up first, so they will have a bit of an advantage here in this next fight.
Alrighty, so defense is restabilizing here once more. They've bought themselves a decent amount of time, but thus far the overall time is 4 minutes, so they would really like to defend probably 3 pushes to feel good about their chances on King's Row. If WeUnited is able to take this on the next push or two, it would be all sorts of bad news for the side of Fnatic. It would make it a rough time to beat. So Earthshower that comes in from Stoop, comboing off of the flashbang. Only gets 1 off that. I think Stoop was looking for a little more, but Fnatic's still in a good position off of that. They have the momentum. Bud's in the back line, and they should be able to hold at least for a little bit longer.
Yeah, Coolmat's playing such a strange variation of this Winston. He's just kind of checking corners. He's taking over the flanks to make sure that they don't get flanked, I believe. That's why he took this high ground here where Buds is standing right now. So Coolmat on the Winston has had some odd positioning. It's worked out okay for them in certain circumstances.
Alright, so the offense right now, all cards here on the table. They open the Deadeye into the Sound Barrier. They get 2 quick kills off it. Zombs in the backline, takes out Stoop. Nothing too crazy here, just good solid Sound Barrier engagements from the side of WeUnited. And this is kind of bad news bears here for the defense. Again, talking about the overall time on the map, we just passed the 5-minute point. If they get a sub 6-minute time, WeUnited has to feel good about their chances here in King's Row.
Yeah, Bud's tried to get in there yet again. He got flashbanged out of his attempt even at a Death Blossom.
Forsaken got absolutely nothing off of that Earthshatter. IDD coming in from the flank, picks off 2. And Fnatic now with a real chance of pushing this back. WeUnited once again had a big advantage going into this fight. But defense able to come right back out, taking their favor, and it wasn't quite as big of a throw as what we saw against C9 in King's Row. No. But I still think that was pretty winnable there for WeUnited to start out, and they just really, you look at the Earthshatter, that was a big reason as to why they weren't able to do much.
I hate to do it because it's the only time we call out Lucio's, but totally unnecessary Sound Barrier there at the end. I guess you're panicked, you don't want to lose the point, but that fight had been over by about 3 seconds before that Sound Barrier came out.
Alright, so offensive WeUnited moving forward once more. Defense can breathe a little bit easy. Here they've stalled out for 6 minutes. Buzz, though, gets into the backline with the Death Blossom, takes out Forsaken. Not much more. Defense actually getting really poked down here towards the backline. So Terra's not over yet, but Bud's hanging in there in the back, takes out 2 easy. And it's a bit back and forth here, but more in favor of the defense. They've gotten the kills they need to. They've really broken up the offensive coordination, and the offense will have to back up and regroup once more. And now things have gone from bad to very, very good for Fnatic here, Hex, because time-wise, they're about to hit the 7-minute mark.
Which is a pretty good defense for King's Row lately. You don't really see defenses that go a ton longer than that unless it goes like pretty much all the way through. So they've absolutely restabilized. This last point has treated them well.
Alrighty, so Deadeye coming out here from IDD in the back. He was trying to get baited out by Shadowburn. Shadowburn having none of it. It just goes for the Dragon Blade instead, though. Takes him out with Slasher. 2 kills here from WeUnited. A beautiful rush in from them. And this is going to be it. Defense will not be able to get back in the stall one more time. So it's going to be a time of about 7 minutes on the dot. 6:58.
Yeah, really nice charge in there at the end from Forsaken. As that Transcendence did come out, he completely repositioned the battlefield as he charged the Zenyatta all the way to the back there, so making that fight not take place where the defense had chosen to take that fight, moving it all the way back, getting those, clean up those kills. Got a couple people outside of the Transcendence who ended up taking damage during that time. Allow them to move the position there, mop up the fight, push the cart to the end. So the defense did restabilize, offense eventually pushing it through to the end. Middle of the road time, one of the better defenses I've seen in recent memory anyway.
Actually, I wouldn't even call that middle of the road. I think with what we've been seeing on the meta right now, I would say that's a pretty darn good defense coming out. Offensively, I'd say it's pretty slow. It definitely puts more pressure on WeUnited here than not, where you know, we talk about first point defenses on point A being so difficult to actually hold in on this meta. Well, I think their best chance of actually winning this map, I'm not saying they have to full hold on point A, but I feel like they need 2 to 3 defenses there to really give themselves some breathing room.
Well, I mean, maybe, because they had a terrible defense on their on the last defense too. They were just able to find a better spot to be able to hold it down. So I agree that first defense it'd be nice to be able to stop at least 1 or 2 pushes to get themselves some buffer room. But maybe they're just comfortable holding on second or on last, something like that.
I guess for me is that it's unlikely to see people hold that much on second and last also in return.
That's fair.
But either way, looking at the defense as it comes out here from the side of WeUnited, it's going to be Slasher here on the Zenyatta, Shadowburn on the Reaper, Real's going to be on Lucio, Too Easy on the McCree, Zombs on the Winston, and Forsaken going to round things out on the Reinhardt. So defensive Winston being run here by WeUnited as well. Expect Zombs to be pretty aggressive, just like CoolNet was.
Yeah, an interesting look from them there. Offensively, nothing super out of the ordinary. Stoop will be on Reinhardt, Coolmat on the Winston, Vonathil on Lucio, IDDQD on McCree, Buds will play Reaper again, and Custa on the Zenyatta. So pretty much exactly the same composition they ran on defense.
Yeah, interesting that they're not running a D.Va here. D.Va's been a big part of really strong first point attacks, so a bit strange not to see her, though Winston, though, can be certainly fine in these situations.
They're similar enough that I think a lot of it can come down to the preference of the person on the dive tank.
Defense being pretty aggressive here for WeUnited, but it does not work out at all. They end up eating the flashbang. It turns right against them. 2 kills here from Fnatic, and Fnatic is looking great here on this push. IDDQD looking for the Lucio pick, not able to get. Misses a whole bunch of shots. Finally gets the last shot towards the end, and McCree play not managed too much towards the end of that, as they will take the point very quickly, and this is now going to be rough for WeUnited, where it does put a lot of pressure on them for both second and last to find a way of holding in for quite a while.
Now, do you think they end up trying to take some fights offensively, get aggressive on this defense, or do you think they play a little more passively? It doesn't seem like their style to play passively.
2 things. You're right. It's not their style to play passively. And then 2 is that I think the way things have been going right now in this match, I think you do have to be a little bit more aggressive on the defense, and certainly when you need to buy this much time, you have to take some risks as well. You can't leave it all up to the offense. I think they need to do something to put it more in their own hands, but it's going to be rough for the next fight because you look at the ultimate situation. Sound Barrier up, Deadeye up, Transcendence up, and they're going to start with the Transcendence here. The defense does try and be aggro. The problem is they're just running into those support ults. Still, though, they take out Bud to start out the fight. Shadowburn on the Custa. They're doing a good job despite the ultimate disadvantage that they're dealing with. Soup comes in the Earth Shower towards the end, knocks down 2. And even still, this isn't bad for WeUnited, given how they started this fight, the fact that they're keeping it even to even winning it now. This is really good on their part, Hex.
Yeah, I think they have a good sense that they were going to be down ults in that fight, but they didn't want to wait any longer because they didn't want to be down any more ults in that fight. So they said, like, well, it's probably 1 to 3 right now, maybe 1 to 4. Let's use what we have and maybe disrupt them from getting more. And now we can turn this in our advantage if we get a couple kills, because now look at the ultimate situation, even up, if not in favor of WeUnited.
Look at Shadowburn right now. He is on a mission. He's creeping to the back. He is going to Q in just one moment. Does not get what he's looking for at all. Gets immediately countered by Defensive Matrix in the flashbang. So it was a nice setup, but good response from Fnatic as Buds does the counter to the defense. And unlike Shadowburn, he does get kills off of that. Gets a double kill, effectively getting the triple onto Reinhardt. Speeding forward, takes out the Zen. And Bud's doing what Shadowburn was not able to do there, and this should be second point here for Fnatic.
Yeah, with the new patch, it's been much more difficult for Reapers to get their work done. So when you see a good Death Blossom now, it took a lot of setup, a lot of timing, a lot of knowing when the cooldowns are on, and everything that can negate your Death Blossom, because it is much more rare to see a good Death Blossom out of a Reaper now than it used to be, because Flashbang stops it instantly, Defense Matrix just eats it.
All right, so defense right now being aggressive once more. Too Easy leading the way with the Deadeye behind the Reinhardt shield. Slasher fell into the pit.
Yeah, I think he got speed boosted and wasn't expecting it.
I was gonna say, I don't think that was due to any enemy abilities. I don't think he was intentionally trying to suicide.
No.
That is an unforced error. That's just confusing. Dude, it's like, wait, why? What happened? And no, he's not switching off heroes. There's no craziness. That was completely unintentional. Earthshower does come in, though, from Forsaken, leading the way for the defense. They force out the Transcendence right away. Forsaken right now, just WMouse wanting in the back. We've seen this before. Takes out IDDQD, swinging on the payload. Looking for Buds. Does Buds even have a Wraith for him? Will just take him out with left clicks. Just a little bit back and forth here on the payload. Real
bloody. Shadowburn does get taken out to finish that fight as the offense continues to push through here. It's kind of stall mode,
they're in the driver's seat. They have ults at the ready. They can open up with the Sound Barrier to start this. Defense not going to have it. This is looking very good for Fnatic. Buds uses Death Blossom towards the end, takes out 2 with the aid of Stoop. Sound Barrier out for the offense, and no miracles from Shadowburn. Gets sniped up by IDDQD, and Fnatic about to take this map right away, and oh no, Coolmat drops at the end. Luckily for him, the DC came at the very end, so DDoS Reno not affecting the outcome of this match. And I gotta say, I do wonder how much they got cost by Slasher falling off the edge there. I mean, I don't want to put Slasher on blast or anything, but they had to give up a lot of defensive ground because he fell into the pit.
Yeah, he was able to come back with his Zoom Yada, get in there on the Transcendence, but you're right, it really made them have to reposition in that fight. An unforced error, as you mentioned. I think it was a speed boost that came out of Lucio, though. I mean, we've all been in that situation where you're used to what your trajectory is on, then all of a sudden, here comes some music, you run a little too fast, and you're off a ledge or out of position, so... Rough there, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't think it actually cost them the map. I think they were going to lose that map anyway. But
yeah, I mean, it was very likely they were going to lose anyways, given that they had to defend for over 4 minutes there. That is a Herculean task by anyone's standards. It's unfortunate that that's the standout moment there of falling into the pit. So I'm not sure what's going on with Cool Matt here. Clearly his PC DC'd.
PC DC.
But map choice will be Lijiang, so we are going to be going to some King of the Hill.
All right, Koth here. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it depends on what stages they get for WeUnited. I think Control Center is in their favor. I think Garden, regardless of who they go against, is not in their favor, and I think it's a coin flip on Night Market. That's just how they've played on each of those stages has been. Now, and I think yesterday they got a little lucky and ended up getting to Control Center a couple times to win out a map. So we'll see what the RNG does if they end up having to go past the 3 stages here.
Alrighty, so just sort of from a little bit of clarification on something that came up earlier. So Clock is still with WeUnited. What went on there is that even though he was playing earlier, what happens is that he wasn't around for the entire weekend. Okay. So it's not that we think Slasher is better than Clock or something that's going on there. It's that because Slasher has been playing all weekend, it just makes a little bit more sense coordination-wise. But Clock is still with WeUnited. So just a little bit of clarification what's going on there. Okay. Sort of led to believe something else might have been going on, but just to set the record straight and all the rest.
Yeah, that would have been on you, rumor monger. Yeah, no, I mean, that makes perfect sense, though, too. If someone's not able to play with you all weekend, with how quickly Overwatch can change and how much you need to get done in a small period of time, definitely a small period of time post-patch as well, that it makes sense that, like, you know, we like you, you're still on the team, but this is the roster we've been winning with, and it's kind of stay with the hot hand, right?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, that makes sense, too. I mean, you have a sub, and it's like, all right, we'll just wait for a little while, though. Every now and then, those situations are always a little bit, I don't know, you feel nervous as the person that's getting subbed in for you. You don't want to become the next Drew Bledsoe. But either way, we are waiting for Cool Matt to get back in. It appears that there are technical difficulties. They're blaming Comcast. So yesterday, of course, we were blaming Time Warner. Now it's back to blaming Comcast. Sorry, Comcast employees that might be out there, because one was very helpful to Hex the other day.
Yeah, I got hooked up. I got my problem solved.
Yeah. But okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to take a short break as we wait for Fnatic to get everything fixed. Hopefully Cool Matt will be rejoining us here. That would be a huge blow to Fnatic if they had to bring in a sub, because Cool Matt is really the heart of that team. So we'll be back here in just a few minutes. This is the Alienware Monthly Melee. I'm ZP. That's Hex. Stay Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the Alienware Monthly Melee. Internet issues have been solved. Cool Matt has rejoined us. So no harm, no foul. Got back right in the nick of time. And Hex, we are seeing these King of the Hill rosters pop right up.
Yeah, hopefully the internet holds. Nothing worse than a DC right now in Overwatch. Not much we can do about it, so hopefully I didn't just jinx it. Probably did, but maybe by recognizing the jinx, I didn't actually jinx it. We'll see what these rosters are going to be in. It's been pretty standard, especially for WeUnited. They're not really switching things up a whole lot today, or yesterday, or the entire weekend. So Zoms is going to be on Zarya. Forsaken will play Winston. Too Easy on McCree. Slasher will play the Zenyatta. Reels on Lucio. Shadowburn is on Genji.
What else would Shadowburn be on but Genji? Now,
some Reaper
actual
today.
answer to that, we have seen it on Reaper, but not so much as of late.
Well, he used to play a lot of Pharah, but she got removed from the game.
I'm curious to see if anyone's going to try and play here now with McCree long range getting nerfed a little bit. I'm not sure it's enough, but either way, taking a look here at the side coming out here from Fnatic. It's going to be Custa on the Zenyatta, Buds on the Tracer, Stoop on Zarya, Cool Matt on the Winston, and he overdrives way too much. Cool Matt immediately getting taken out here, so big 6v5 opportunity here for WeUnited. Shadowburn piling on, takes out IDD QD. And this is looking good here from WeUnited. Should be in position to pile on 1 or 2 more kills and take first control at this point.
A couple really early kills. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to try to do about Shadowburn's Genji. They're not running one of their own, so you can't just counter Genji, try to force them into the mirror match. It's going to be up to, like, probably Stoop and Buds, maybe.
Now Shadowburn right now does eat the Discord, backs out. IDD, QD, and Custa, though, still muscling their way in here for Fnatic. And slowly sort of degenerating here for WeUnited. They got bullied off the point. Bud's gotten the Too Easy towards the end, and they're going to retake this. So nothing too crazy for Fnatic. Just got a few picks and got more after that.
Yeah, the brawl continues. It's about 3v3 on the point here. IDDQD takes another nice kill, taking down Shadowburn. That is one really nice answer. Always flash bang the Genji. As long as he doesn't reflect it at you, you're in good shape there. So a couple of nice kills coming in late allows them to firmly take control of this point. Now they take the lead in the percentage battle.
Alrighty, so WeUnited going to be hopping right back in. They do have Dragon Blade in the sound barrier here, which usually pretty good at clearing things out. Will be going into an opposing sound barrier, so those ultimates will cancel each other out, but they'll still have a Dragon Blade to their credit. Graviton's coming out here from both teams in turn. Shadowburn looking for the follow-up on here, not able to get it, runs right into the Transcendence. And Shadowburn slicing and dicing, his blade not sharp enough, gets taken out by IDD QD. And after the dust is settled from both Zarya ults, it's going to be Fnatic sitting up on top.
Yeah, Custer with a nice job there to pop the Transcend and keep his team alive. Came in kind of late. That's one of the biggest benefits of Transcendence over a Sound Barrier is that instant cast time. Able to really save your team, be super reactive to those ultimates. So he came in there late, saved his team from the Graviton. That's part of the reason why they got the better end of it. And now they're just kind of on the camp here. Holding pretty far forward on the front door. Not as far as Envy likes to hold, though, so they're just looking for poke.
Yeah, for now, Fnatic really has no reason to change anything up. Some teams will fight more in the courtyard, but you can also hold on the point perfectly okay as well. And Buds right now, even though they're holding more on the point, Buds is certainly on the flank. Does have to run away from McCree, but still getting poked that he's looking for. Zenyatta now in trouble. Slasher has to watch out. Buds, though, backs away from that to start things out. Shadowburn Too Easy, starting to turn things in their favor as he's in the back line, picks up 2. Dealing with Stoop right now. Can't deflect the Zarya beam, but might not need to. Just DPSing her down. And this is going to be WeUnited retaking control of the point. Good play coming in from them off the flank.
You have really nice positioning there to take that fight early. Shadowburn yet again did some work on his Genji, helped out by Zoms there towards the end. Zoms nearly has his Graviton up, so I'm surprised he's not out here trying to get poked to get to that last couple of percentage here and try to lock down the door. They take a very strange angle, does this offense.
Yeah, it's strange, but they do take out Too Easy in the beginning. That means the defense here is going to be completely up to Shadowburn. Graviton Surge comes up. He's looking to go into it. Going to get stymied, though, by the Transcendence. Has to back away from the McCree. Still some nice moves coming out from Shadowburn as WeUnited struggling here without Too Easy. He died very early in that fight. And as a result, Fnatic still has just way more firepower, backed up by IDD QD. And they're going to retake control of this. And at 94%, I don't know if there's much time really left here for WeUnited to get back on the point. Zom's going to have to sacrifice his body for this.
I don't know that they could have backed out there. I guess they're going to try to come in. Graviton's going to lock it out. Yeah, Slasher did use his Transcendence to try to get out of there and stay alive. I think It was going to be close if they could get to that point or not, but not when Graviton is up like that. I think they probably had to brawl it out and get scrappy on the point there. Losing first point is WeUnited. See what stage they rolled here. This is not the best point for them on Lijiang. We'll see if they can get something going here against this Fnatic squad that's looked pretty good so far tonight.
Fnatic has been solid. WeUnited certainly has not been getting rolled over in a significant form, but they also, when the dust settles, they're not getting 100% before Fnatic, so it's been rough for them here. Of course, they are down a game. They did lose the last map on Kings Row, so for WeUnited, anytime you're in a best-of-5 series like this, you really would like to even up 1-1 and not have to dig yourself out of the hole. But either way, both teams going to be getting to once again, and Shadowburn very likely to be over-aggressive. Something he just does on Genji, but it's high risk, high reward, and he takes out Coolmat very early on this fight, moves to the backline. Only has 67 HP though, so he doesn't challenge IDDQD. Instead, goes to get the big health, and will join the fight a little bit after. Pretty smart. Yeah,
meanwhile though, everyone's getting cleaned up as he had to leave that fight. So there's 4 kills, 5 kills coming out for Fnatic. Their DPS is just going absolutely ham. Buds and IDDQD combined for the kills there. Take first control at this point. We've seen how crucial that can be on this stage. Now it's really, the onus is all on WeUnited. Which side are they going to try to roll through? It looks like they're being very decisive, going to go pack side immediately.
Yep, they're going to the backside. They don't want to go up the front. Forsaken does go in, perhaps a little bit early, eating all sorts of poke from that. Does buy some space for his team. Too easy, though, with the poke. It does take out Vonafil from long range. 5v5 right now on the point, but Fnatic's down to Lucio, and without that healing, Too Easy gets into the back once more, takes out 2. They're going to push everyone back. WeUnited retakes control at this point.
Pretty impressive that they're able to take that immediately back on their first attempted push. I think they've definitely preferred going to that pack room. They've not been punished by a team that's running like a Reaper or something like that. We've seen teams try to come through that side, and there's a Reaper Death Blossom waiting for him. It just completely crushes the push.
Alright, well, Too Easy gonna open this here with the Deadeye. Happy Little Skulls coming right up. Does take out Coolmat. Of course, Deadeye does not care about Transcendence. Shadowburn looking for the finish here. Pulls out the Dragon Blade. Is really low and has Discord Orb on him right now. Hasn't stopped Shadowburn in the past. Does find Buds, takes him out. Looks to take out Zarya. Stoop in all sorts of trouble. Harmony Orb not going to save him. And now Shadowburn deep diving. The dash resets everywhere right now. Forsaken diving in with him. And oh man, Coolmat leaping for his life. Good hold by WeUnited.
Yeah, I mean, Shadowburn's going to get a lot of credit for the cleanup, but right there, Slasher absolutely saved that entire team's life. Nice reactive Transcendence, kept them alive during that Graviton, gave them a chance to help out Shadowburn towards the end and win that fight.
All right, Vonafil ends up either getting knocked off the edge or falls off the ledge. Still, though, he's down. 2 people are down here for the Fnatic side. Shadowburn in good position to flank. Oh, man, Buds comes right back in with the Pulse Bomb, turning it back in favor of Fnatic here.
Doing
He's
it
just
himself.
Picking people apart. Buds going full hero mode right now.
He does enough to get some reinforcements in, doesn't have to do it all himself, gives his life for it, but that is a happy life for Buds. He got at least 3, maybe 4 kills all by himself.
I think it was 4, and for a second I thought Pulse Bomb got set by Graviton, so I was like, wait a second, Stoop didn't have anywhere near enough ult, so that was all Buds, and shows why Tracer, even though not played as much on non-King of the Hill maps, really does have crazy potential to turn around the game when the right opportunity presents itself. All right, so Sunbear coming in here from the offense of WeUnited. They want to take this right back. Shadowburn holding out to the Dragon Blade, waiting for the Transcendence to go down, but Buds takes him out from the back with that tracking. And Buds right now, again, moving right in. Pretty bloody between the 2 teams. Too Easy fighting it out, but it's not going to be enough. IDDQD and Buds will clean this up. Now it's going to be all even here, 73 to 73, and for WeUnited, a lot of pressure on for them in this next fight. If they lose this next fight, they will very likely lose.
Yeah, especially if they do prolonged and then lose it too, because they're at 80% here. Yeah, it probably is the absolute last fight. They're going to take their preferred angle of entrance through large pack room. Buds gets an early kill on Zomzo. That really hurts.
All right, so sound bearers are out. Shadowburn was looking for the Dragon Blade, got absolutely nothing. 2 kills here for Fnatic, and Stoop right now piling in as Zarya. He has 80% energy, catches 2 people in the Graviton, and that is going to be it. Fnatic will take this round. And again, sort of same old right now between WeUnited and Fnatic, where WeUnited's looked good at points here, but it hasn't been enough.
I mean, that kill on Zoms might as well be a partial kill on Shadowburn, because Shadowburn's been getting all of those allied shields to initiate fights. It's why he's always in the back line and not dying on the front line, is because he has that 2 seconds of absolute freedom to get back there. So you take down Zoms, you might as well be taking down a support at that point in time, because it's really what Shadowburn has relied on to get the ball rolling when he's getting those enormous kills. So you saw it there, Zoms went down, Shadowburn went down immediately after, unprotected by the shield. So back against the wall here on this map for WeUnited, but it has been their best stage so far. Oddly enough, Too Easy is on the McCree for now, so this is a map that they've run a Tracer on before. Buds is going to try to feast as he remains on Tracer.
Well, right now, this is a grim situation for WeUnited. They either have to do the reverse sweep here on Lijiang or the reverse sweep in this series as a whole. Neither a particularly fun prospect, but they want to do it here in Lijiang. It needs to start here. IDDQD, though, opens up the game, takes out Lucio. Cool Matt gets in the back line on the Shadowburn.
That's
that
it.
Winston versus Genji matchup, a huge pain, and very decisively, this is going to go to Fnatic as Slasher gets sniped out from across the map.
That was about as decisive as it gets. 6-0 there early on.
And the problem is, anytime you get a 6-0 fight like that, you also get way ahead on ult charge.
Yeah.
It's actually not as bad as it could be right now, especially given how quick Shadowburn builds ult, but it does make this next fight not necessarily the best prospect moving forward. So, Too Easy, though, does take out Bud to start things out. IDDQD, though, retaliates, takes out Too Easy. Back and forth here, Slasher on the IDDQD. Very back and forth, blue and red all over. As the fight's degenerating right now, though, things are looking a little bit better here for WeUnited. Stoop gets Forsaken at the very end. He's going to go down, so really just trading 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 at the moment. Dragon Blade, though, comes out as the fight's going to the end. It's going to be countered by Transcendence. This is so ridiculously even.
Transcendence does eventually wear off, and then Shadowburn gets 2 kills. He is cleaned up eventually by Cool Matt. It is 3v3 still on this point.
Oh, no. Cool Matt with the juggle, almost juggles McCree to his death there. Not able to do the rest of it. Zarya's shield being the savior. There's Deadeye from Too Easy. Soundbearer out here from the offense of WeUnited. This is at least going to push Fnatic back a little bit, but again, very even on both sides. Too Easy and Bud's getting kill each.
This has been the longest fight.
It's been long, but it's also been all in favor of Fnatic in terms of progress.
Yeah,
so Grauton comes in here from Stoop, does pull in 2, but gets countered by the Transcendence. The play and counterplay in this King of the Hill has been so good this far from both teams.
Well, they finally start getting some momentum, does WeUnited, as they take down 3 there. Too Easy and Slasher combined. This Graviton is going to be the icing on the cake. Only Buds and Vonethil left. They're going to be able to stall out momentarily, but that's not going to be enough to keep the point in their favor. However, that is a long fight, all in control for Fnatic there. They only need to win 1 more fight here to win this stage and map.
Yeah, for Fnatic, things are looking pretty good for them. As you mentioned, is 1 fight away, and they're going to have Sound Barrier going the next fight. Real's probably not going to have it unless the fight goes really, really long, so Sound Barrier could just win outright, but Buds gets picked off early. Got a little bit too over aggro to start things off. Shadowburn with the punish, 65. Here comes the Dragon Blade, and I would save the Sound Barrier right now if I'm Vonethil. I just said, this fight is lost. Wait for full 6. And thankfully for Vonethil, I think that's what he's going to do.
Oh, no. I don't know if the fight had just been lost. Custa actually had a really nice life there, took out his counterpart in Slasher, and then was able to take down Shadowburn, who was looking to feast on the support in the back line. Did not happen. Custa with a nice individual play. They didn't win the fight, but it's always nice to see Zen firmly back in the game.
The one downside here for Fnatic is that their window of Sound Barrier advantage has passed. Both Lucios will be dropping the beat here in this next fight, but they will have a high ground advantage here, which for IDDQD isn't the worst. Sound Barrier comes out here from both sides. IDDQD right now going to be looking for those elevation snipes. And what the? There's a little bit of lag here on the server. I don't know if the players experience that as well, but right now 1 for 1 between both of the teams. Too Easy still alive in the back looking for pickoffs. Does take out Custa. Will get melted by Stoop in turn, and right now Fnatic slowly winning this fight. I think they have a 1-person advantage. IDDQD or the top gets a Deadeye on the reels, and they will be retaking this, so WeUnited, they're gonna only have maybe 1 fight to try and retake this back.
Yeah, it took them a moment to actually close out that fight that they were winning, so it's not going to be the absolute final definitive nail in the coffin, but it puts so much pressure right now on WeUnited. They're going to have to go in regardless of if they like their setup or not.
Alright, Graviton comes in here, and everyone is in that Graviton. Fnatic setting them up. Slasher, though, does count the Transcendence. It's a little bit late, though. Too Easy dies before the Transcendence comes off. They're down the McCree. Shadowburn, though, is still up. He has Dragon Blade at the ready. Will he be the hero? They've gotten 2 kills back in turn. A Graviton on their own. Here comes WeUnited. And overall played pretty decently going out from them. Down goes IDDQD, and they're going to retake this.
Yeah, it's just Cool Matt left. He is not long for this world. Jumps up and gets a pack. I wonder if he's got designs to get back in here. It's a little too late, but he stays alive. He's able to rejoin his team at the very least, not a super staggered death. So they're going to be able to push with full force on their next one. Soundbarrier comes off pretty early there.
Yeah, they counter with the defensive sound barrier. They don't want to take any risks, so that's going to be a wash from both teams. Custa comes out here with the offensive Transcendence moving in. There is no defensive Transcendence counter, so more of a power play here from the offense. They get 2 kills off of it, off of that aggressive play. Shadowburn goes down, and that is going to be it. Fnatic will almost certainly be taking this map now, and as a result, they're going to be up 2-0 in the series, and WeUnited, if they want to stay alive here in the Alienware Monthly Melee, now they must do the reverse sweep.
Well, stranger things have happened, but an uphill battle for them. It's always Shadowburn. Always Shadowburn to play of the match.
Experience difficulty.
Oh, God. He uses that reset so well. He knows it perfectly. His mobility is just so good on Genji. You could talk about Shadowburn's Genji all day. It is very, very aggressive. When it gets shut down, you can definitely feel it. But if he gets that thing rolling, it's generally 4 kills, like at the minimum.
It's great, and Shadowburn's Genji in particular has had really phenomenal moments. Unfortunately, though, not enough for WeUnited. Now find themselves in a pretty deep hole. We're going to be going here to Hollywood, and Fnatic actually opting for defense first. They're one of the few teams that actually does like defense more often than attack. Not like C9, not like Envy, so I don't think there's much to it. I think there's a huge difference either way, but it is sort of interesting to see teams prefer one end or the other.
Yeah, I think we're waiting now for someone on Fnatic. A little bit of a break.
Uh-oh.
It's bio break. We see an
someone is being...
Yeah. Esports.
Esports bio breaks.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We've got some more action for you tonight. Even after this set concludes, the winner of this set will be taking on Cloud9, as they played earlier, dropped down to the lower brackets. And then the winner of that set has the unenviable task of trying to topple Team Envious, who has been nigh undefeatable lately. They've dropped a couple maps, so I guess there is hope. If you can win 1 map, maybe you can win 2, maybe 3. I don't think it's going to happen, but at the very least, you get to see Envious's unique playstyle. They have unique compositions, but it's straightforward in how they win. They just kind of walk and kill everyone. So those are the matches that we have up for you next. It is right now, we're waiting for WeUnited and Fnatic to get to our 3rd map. WeUnited looking for that reverse sweep. Just taken down on Lijiang Tower.
Right now, general appraisal of both teams is that WeUnited definitely has really big bright spots. It's not like they're not able to take team fights away from Fnatic, but Fnatic is just a smidge more consistent than them in these fights. And in the end, over the course of a match, it adds up to a result where I don't know if WeUnited has it in them to bring the reverse sweep. I mean, in theory, if they really play out of their minds and Fnatic stumps a little bit, it is possible. But right now, I definitely see Fnatic taking this. In fact, I probably see Fnatic taking Hollywood, though I would love for WeUnited to bring this right back.
No, and I think you really nailed it there. They're just a smidge more consistent. Like when a team fight happens, they get 6 kills, or they get 4 kills and the other team gets 3, and then that happens over the course of the game. So if there's 10 team fights, they win 6 or 7, the other team wins 4 or 3, and as you mentioned, it just kind of snowballs. It all adds up. The alts start to snowball and adds up. It's nothing hugely flashy. They're not generally getting those enormous team kills. It's been kind of back and forth, but they're winning those fights more consistently. They're just individual play has been a little bit more consistent, and they're not necessarily relying on giant plays out of their DPS, like I think that WeUnited does rely a little bit on giant plays out of Shadowburn in particular, and then Too Easy needs to carry, and then sometimes Zoms has to put on his pants as well. And when none of them can get giant, enormous plays, then they've struggled to win maps.
In fairness, I do think you need to get a contribution of one of your 2 DPS for any team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that part isn't so much unique to them, but I think it's more just, you feel it a little bit more with WeUnited, where Shadowburn sort of go, how to say this, it's not too often that Shadowburn only gets 1 or 2 kills. I feel like for Shadowburn, he goes so deep into the enemy side that he's getting a 3 or 4 kills or being very responsible for those, or he's dying early.
Yeah.
So it sort of leaves you this impression that, okay, if Shadowburn gets 3 or 4 kills, they win, and then, oh man, Shadowburn didn't kill anyone. Shadowburn's the only one who carries the team. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, but Shadowburn just has a more streaky style of play.
Yeah, but you do see, like, sometimes they're able to pull it back, and Shadowburn's not in the kill feed at all, and it's because he's not getting, like, the cleanup at the end because he's been dead, you know? So it's like, you are right, though. He does either die almost immediately in these fights. Sometimes they can still win those, or he's carrying them through them and getting the 4 kills and the cleanup. So it has been pretty streaky for them. I think part of that too is, like, if you can get to Zoms early, it also really hurts Shadowburn as well. He's been the recipient of orbs and shields for the last several days. That's what's really been the engine behind them. However, on this defense, it is Fnatic first, and it's going to be Stoop on the Reinhardt, Cool Matt 69 on the defensive Winston, Bonatho will play Lucio, Buds defensive Reaper, Custa will be playing the Zenyatta, and IDD QD on McCree.
All right, so you look here at the offense coming out. It's going to be Slasher once more on the Zenyatta, Too Easy on the McCree, Zoms on Zarya, Forsaken on the D.Va, Real's going to be on Lucio, and Shadowburn on the Genji. And they're, right now, the offense going all to the high ground, taking it right now, and they have their sights on the Cafe. Defense still holding back in the Cafe with a few on point. I'm surprised the offense is winning as long as they are right now. Forsaken showing a little bit more patience. Usually offense just go straight in on the Cafe nowadays, but they are going to do that. Zoms gets onto the point. Forsaken with him. Lots of damage being done to the Reinhardt shield. Looking for that all-important first pick on the defense. And IDDQD able to weather the storm, gets a kill on the Shadowburn. Too Easy goes down. Both major offensive players are down here for WeUnited. This is going to be a full hold here for the defense.
Yeah, they're going to go for the cleanup. I think one of the big differences, too, is why Shadowburn might struggle a little bit, is they're keeping IDDQD very close to Custa. And his target of choice most of the night has been the opposing Zenyatta. Generally able to get in pretty deep there and get the Zenyatta of the other team, but they've kept IDDQD right into Custa's back pocket. It's been impossible to isolate him.
Well, I don't know what they just did there. They specifically waited for a while there, the chain Forsaken's death, and delay the offense by another 10 seconds. It's one of those things where I wish we'd see teams do that a little bit more, but they had the perfect opportunity, and it just small things that make a difference in Overwatch. Alright, so offense right now coming in all off the back alley. Deadeye from IDDQD over the top. Gets a skull, does not get a kill. Gets actually knocked around a bit by the D.Va. Budso hanging in here on the defense. Takes out his counter on Shadowburn, goes down the Zoms. 5v5 right now on the point. And Zoms now starting to take out some people at 40% energy. Not crazy charge up, but enough that a beam is a little bit scary. Does take out IDDQD. Defense, though, coming right back in. It's not one at all for the offense just yet, though it has been a little bit bloody.
No, pretty back and forth. Interesting enough, Shadowburn is off of that Genji. Did not have success in the first push at all, so he's going to switch to the Reaper.
Here's the scary thing for an offense in this situation, too, is that defense is hard in the beginning, but not once you get ultimates, and the defense is fully stocked on ultimates here in many ways. They don't have Sound Barrier and Transcendence, but they do have Death Blossom, Earth Shatter, and Primal Rage. Primal Rage alone really good for stalling out, and look at Buds right now. He's in the corner. This is just Reaper things. He's waiting for his opportunity. Does come in. Here comes the Death Blossom off the back, and he catches 4 people! Buds with the brilliant sneak was in the bush! And IDDQD gonna get the last little bit of cleanup there, so I feel like Buds does that once a series at the very least.
I mean, that corner spot behind the bushes is nothing new. That's where Reapers on defense on this map have been hiding since the beginning of time.
Alright, so offense right now coming right back in. They have respawned off of that last team wipe. They move in with the Sound Barrier. Defense does not have a support ult to really counter that just yet, but they are able to back out. They don't immediately go down from it. And Colette even finds Too Easy, and Deadeye from IDDQD takes out 2 before getting taken out by Forsaken in turn. A little bit bloody here in the fight, though. Offense not fully out of it, but Forsaken should get swarmed down in the end.
Yeah, Vonethil uses the Sounder to make sure that they can clean up without losing any more. Doesn't want to... How was Forsaken still alive? How did
Forsaken... chaining his death.
Oh, okay.
That's why. They're specifically just waiting.
You mentioned that earlier, too, so my brain just stopped working. I'm like, there's no way he lives through this. So yeah, that's been happening twice now to Forsaken. It's a really great target to be able to stagger like that. You see it happen to Mercies on occasion. Well, not anymore, but because they know that there's almost no chance he's going to be able to live through it once they decide to put damage on him. This is just health ballistas.
Oh no, Shadowburn picked the wrong time to jump down. Jumps right into Stoop's Hammer of Love. 2 kills coming out from Stoop. IDDQD with the fall through. It's going to be 4 kills here from Fnatic and Hex. The first point hold on Hollywood Dream is real. Exceptionally well played here by Fnatic because we have not been seeing that a whole lot lately.
Yeah, and you mentioned before we went into this map that they wanted to play the defensive side first. I think we see exactly why. They have a very good hold on it. You know what's interesting? That very first push, when you mentioned they were taking their time and not pushing in, it seemed like they gave them an out there. The offense, the defense had been set up on top of the cafe. When they saw where the offense was posturing, the offense not diving in right away gave them a chance to get out of there and get back to a more safe position. I feel if they would have dove that immediately, they could have got a better chance on the taking down Custa, who was back there hanging out on the stairs. They didn't give them a chance to get out, and that defense was able to set up and snowball the defensive advantage into a first point hold. So win conditions super easy now for the offense. Just take first.
Alrighty, so this is going to be rough, to say the least. The odds that WeUnited actually comes back and wins this game, given how point A defenses are, very slim, but that is their only hope right now because Hex, if they lose point A, they will be knocked out here of the Alienware Monthly Melee, and Fnatic will be on the way to face Cloud9 in the lower bracket finals coming right up. But take a look here at this defense. Defense will have to hold for a while. It's going to be Lucio, or Reels on the Lucio, Forsaken on the Reinhardt, Too Easy on McCree, Zoms on Winston, Slasher on the Zenyatta, and Shadowburn going to be on Reaper.
Yeah, nothing super switched up, though. I mean, Shadowburn not on that Genji. I guess trying to expand his repertoire onto the Reaper. I don't know. They're not rolling anything that would make them, you know, stand out as like trying to really go defensively or not. This is just kind of the composition that WeUnited runs. Now, offensively, nothing out of the ordinary either. Buds will actually be on the Zenyatta, Vonethil on Lucio, IDDQD, no surprise, on his McCree. Stoop will be playing Winston, Matt, Cool Matt 69, I should say his full name. Zanzaria and Custa will play the Zenyatta.
I mean, if you just say full or cool Matt, you're not actually giving him enough credit.
I just said Matt, which just felt wrong.
It's like, yeah, just Matt. It's like he's cool and he has a number. But either way, offensive Fnatic, they are jumping right in here, not wasting any time whatsoever. Cool Matt getting the double kill, 62% charge Zarya, not to be trifled with. Now 100% charge Zarya. Even though the defense did get a few kills here, this is still not in their favor. The offensive reinforcements will get here way sooner. And Matt right now sitting pretty with all sorts of charge. He's going to burn down Shadowburn here in just a moment. Yeah, takes down Reels first, punches Shadowburn in the face. Cool Matt having himself a round. My ultimate is charging. And this is do or die here for the defense. Winston leaps in. They need a miracle to turn this back in their favor. They've lost too many people. Too Easy does get to the back, takes out Custa. Looking now for Cool Matt, will get taken out by IDDQD. The Graviton is out. And Fnatic, Hex, that is going to be it. They will move on to fight Cloud9 here in the lower bracket final. Good tournament, though, for WeUnited. They had some upsets. They played some of the top teams in the game close, but in the end, just not quite enough.
A team to watch out for, a team on the rise for certain, though. Yeah, Cool Matt just carry Matt on that last push.
Let's try that again. Fire at will.
Alrighty, so that was our lower bracket semifinal. We're going to be moving right along. We have 2 sets left here in the day. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. This is the Alienware Monthly Melee brought to you by Curse. Been doing this for a whole lot of months now. One of the best times in the month for Overwatch. But I am ZP, that's Hex, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes bringing you the next set.